Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 30 of the Gaming Now. We're recording this on Sunday, April 27th, 2025. I want to say good morning to everyone. Please like and subscribe. We got a packed show for you today, talking about some new RPG games. Then there's two pre-orders. The big one is Oblivion, and we're going to talk about whether or not what kind of RPG games that you like, action-based or real-time, or I guess there's a lot of different ones. But we'll start with intros. BJ, what's up, man?
What's up, man? How's it going?
It's going well for a Sunday, my favorite day. Very, very good. Johnny?
Doing all right. Woke up a little bit late today, but I'm here.
Okay, fair enough. Caroline?
Hey, yeah, things are good. The weather's nice. After the podcast, I'm going on a nice run. I'm excited about it. I don't know if you guys are runners, but I am.
Okay. And speaking of which, Johnny and BJ, I know he said he's just gonna try to at least make one eventually, but we are starting those bike rides up again. So
Nice.
I'll
Very
give
nice.
you the details. My brother said he does have a bike, so
Great.
if
I
you're
have a bike as well.
still one in, then we have those options available. So I'll give you more information on that. But anyways, like I said, we got a packed show. I want to start off with just some things that people have been playing. So Johnny, go ahead, because we just seen you playing something. What have you been playing?
Sure. Yeah, I just started playing Diablo 2 again, the resurrected version. It seems like it's the era of remakes and remasters. I think we've been in that era for the last 5-10 years now, maybe, to be frank. Yeah, Diablo 2 is probably my favorite of the Diablo games. And Diablo 2 offline, which I think is less popular. I think most people, when I say that I play almost exclusively offline, ask me what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong, honestly. I just prefer it. I like to play alone. So, yeah, having fun. I'm liking it.
That's something that I mean we've talked about before, but every time I'm listening to some people who I listen to and they talk about playing alone, it like it trips me out because I like playing with people, so it
Mhm.
just trips me out, and I wouldn't really try to get their reasoning for like why they're playing alone.
Sure. Yeah, I guess specifically with Diablo, I like playing alone. I'm not sure
Okay.
why. I think it's the nostalgia of it. I think it's because I played it like as a child, like alone at my friend's house on their computer because I wasn't allowed to have it. But
Okay.
when my friend was like away or something, I was on his computer. Anyways,
Okay.
that's what I'm
Caroline.
I'm back to playing Persona 5 and Have a Nice Death. And just grinding through Persona 5 and Have a Nice Death. I'm still dying a lot. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at in gaming. I hope we like can get a multiplayer online game going because I'm getting frustrated. I need my social interaction actually. So yeah, and you know that I love my single player, but there are definitely moments like today where like I need to play something with some people.
Mhm. And we have that. I talked to my cousin yesterday or 2 days ago, and him and his brother. So with total with us four NFD low joins plus my two cousins, we have like 8 or 9 people. So for Power World,
For Power World,
yeah.
yes, let's get this going. I really want to try Power World.
And then Johnny just talked about Diablo 4 as well.
Yeah.
So, BJ, what about you? What you been playing? Watching anything new, man?
Um, I've been kind of dipping around, especially with Game Pass releasing like at least those two games this week. On top of what I have been playing before. So, I kind of dabble with Oblivion. I don't even know if I could call it playing it because it was kind of short lived. I got into that first area, got my butt kicked by a bunch of rats, and then kind of turned it off. So there's that. I also been playing this game on there called Crime Scene Cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a what is it? It's kind of like a Power Wash simulator in a way. Just kind of like a cleaning simulator game, but you're like actually working for like a mob boss, and so you have to go to different crime scenes and clean up all the bodies and blood and stuff. It's kind of morbid, but it's kind of relaxing. Just kind of spraying stuff down, and just kind of cleaning. It's kind of a
did you
relaxing
ever
game.
hear of Viscera Cleanup Crew?
I haven't heard of that one, no.
Okay, this one was an older one. I was wondering if it was similar. It's like you go like to space stations that have been like horribly torn apart by some like alien or something like that, and you have to clean up all
it may be similar. This is kind of more, you know, grounded. Basically, you kind of go. There was one where there was like this thing. I guess a girl was dating this guy, and he was like trying to like traffic her essentially, and the dad found out about it and goes over there,
Hmm.
and it ends up killing the guy, and it's and you have to pretty much clean up the hotel room after the fact, like what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's actually pretty good because there's like a lot of exploration to it, and there's like secrets and stuff you can find, like secret doors, and like there was like this little trap door I discovered that was like a little secret room under a staircase. It had like a Harry Potter reference in there. Like, so it's kind of it's really fun. I've been doing like one of the stages a day. Like I'll get on there because it takes a bit to get through it. So I'll get on there, do a stage, turn it off, and then there's also like a whole overarching story of the main character. But it's been a pretty good. It's been pretty good. I just like, and then
So
I
is it and you when I initially looked at it and you told me about it, I also thought it was more like a like a goat simulator or power wash simulator. Just because that's what you said, but it looks like it's a little more than that.
Yeah, I mean, the main objective is the game is to just clean up the scene, really. But like I said, they did also, there's like there's an overarching story to it. There's a lot of hidden stuff. Like I don't want to like spoil anything, but you have to like look around because there's like the very first stage you're like in this apartment building, but then like if you look around, there's actually other apartments you can go into that has like more context about what actually happened. So and I mean, there's a little bit more there because there's more than just like you do have a power washer, but then you got mops and sponges, and they all have different like uses for different areas that you might be having to clean. Like sometimes there's like delicate stuff you don't want to break, so you
Sounds
just
like
use.
part cleanup, part like mystery investigation.
Yeah. There's a little bit of both things going on there. But no, I think it's a pretty solid game. And then I also been I just started with the Clair Obscur, so that's pretty much about it.
Okay, and we're gonna talk about that relatively shortly.
Yeah,
Um,
so I'm not gonna say much now.
What I've been playing Last of Us 2. Love the game. I love the series. I'm watching the series at the same time I'm playing it. So that's a little bit challenging, I would say, because I'm already criticizing it because I just started playing the game and the series season 2 is coming. So I'm at the same part. And I'm like, well, that didn't happen in the game. What are you guys doing? So I'm kind of like, but it's going well. I really, really, really enjoy that game. I got some thoughts on Claire Obscur as well. So I started that yesterday. I played for about 5 hours, I think. Played them
Okay.
all yesterday, so I'm into the playing that. So I got some thoughts. I wanted to give it a fair shot because unlike the Stalker 2, where I turned it on for like 1 minute and then I turned it off. If I try a game, I'm gonna start giving it at least an hour or two just to say I can accurately
Hmm.
give my opinion on it. Balatro is ticking me off at this moment with these poker hands, but it's such a fun game that I've started that up again. Hogwarts Legacy a little bit, and Forza Horizon 5, just because I got a Pikachu car on there, so I got a Pikachu Mustang. Anyone who doesn't know me knows I love Mustangs, so I got a Pikachu Mustang on there, and then I got an Undertaker Jeep Wrangler on there as well. So all the like the creators on there, you can go create your own kind of cars, skins. So I'm playing that. If you never played Forza, that is a good game to play on Game Pass as well. So I know me and BJ talk a lot about the Game Pass, so it's on Game Pass. You can try it out. Um, yeah, so I want to segue into our first segment. I want to talk about the Switch 2. We're gonna go a couple ways with it, but Switch 2 pre-orders went live a couple days ago. I want to see did anyone in here get one? Did anyone attempt to get one? Why or why not? Did you have luck? I know a lot of people I was listening to didn't have luck. Some friends of mine didn't have luck. So I want to start with BJ because I already know his story, but I want him to give us his story. Did you get one? Did you try to get one? How'd that go?
All right. So it all started on. So it all started on April 23rd at around we'll start at around 11:55 p.m. Right. So I'm sitting there. I got the Best Buy page up because that's where I got my PlayStation day one. So I'm like, okay, I think Best Buy is probably my best bet. It worked for me last time. So we get to 12. I got Best Buy up. And there was a streamer that was live streaming him also trying to get it that I was watching. And so I have this guy up. I'm watching his stream, and I'm also doing my own waiting game. So we hit 12 o'clock, and everybody goes up but Best Buy. Best Buy doesn't even go up exactly at 12 o'clock. Then not to mention, so I start saying, okay, let me look at these other ones. So I kind of tried it. You try to get on Target. It's going slow. It's like crashing. What was it? Walmart was all the same. Walmart might have been the very worst at first. But so after sitting there, I'll kind of try to jump into like a Walmart. Each website they just put you in this like long queue and they tell you you're in line for it, but then you're in line for like an hour and then just for them to be like, yeah, we're sold out. So I don't know, like it was kind of a mess. Um, I was just messing around. And then when it comes up, it's like, what was it? Which one was it? I don't know if it was Walmart or Target. I can't remember. It literally like as soon as it went up, I refreshed the page like right at 12 o'clock ish, and it's already sold out in like 30 seconds. It says, but then you refresh the page again, and it's available. So it's like, are you sold out? Are you available? Who knows? So I can see why a lot of people probably just didn't get it. I imagine a lot of people might have saw that and was just like, oh well, dang. Not even knowing that you probably could have had a chance to get one. I somehow kind of snuck through the back door and was able to get a pre-order on a non-bundle Switch 2 from the Walmart website. The next day, I went to GameStop. Well, I kind of drove past GameStop early in the morning. My job is like 5 minutes away from a GameStop, so I kind of just rolled past it on my way to work to see. It's like 6 in the morning. They don't even open till 12. There's like already 3 people outside. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's gonna be kind of crazy with it. So they don't open till 12. I had a pretty smooth day. I was lucky enough to have a slow day at work, so I kind of finished all most of my stuff by 11, and then we normally have a break between 12 and 1 o'clock before like our next patients come in. So at 11, I'll go back down to GameStop to look at the line and check it out, and it was like a line around the corner. But it wasn't too crazy. So I looked, they had the little paper on the wall. My GameStop actually had like 64 copies. They had like 40 something bundles and like 24 of the regular ones, which is actually pretty good. So I'm like, let me count. I asked the line, I'm like, y'all mind if I count y'all real quick to see if I'm even in the running? So I kind of go down. It's only like 30 people there. So I jumped the line. It took about 2 hours, but I managed to get a bundle pre-ordered through GameStop um, to get on launch. Was they're also even doing a midnight release, and I was also able to do a trade-in of my regular Switch. And they do a trade-in for like 120. Well, I'm also a pro member, so I ended up getting like $140 or something toward the Switch 2. So overall, I say I had actually a pretty good experience, all things considered. I managed to get 2, which one of them I'm not gonna keep. So obviously the not bundle, I'm not gonna keep it. I think I already even just canceled it. Honestly, I didn't think anybody else was gonna want it, and I really don't want to pay for it. So I just canceled it. I kind of went on for a long time there, but
No,
I
that's
think it was a
perfect.
pretty good. I think it was a pretty good experience. I managed to get it. GameStop, it was super smooth. The guy, he had like a stack of papers with exactly how many he had, and he was passing on to the people in line before it opened. So he knew exactly how many it was, because you hear horror stories of people waiting in line for hours just to
Woo!
get up to the counter and them tell you that they don't even have it.
Then
So I
you ready
kind of
to fight? You ready to fight after that?
I kind of appreciated that he had it organized that way. I think it was pretty smooth, and I think GameStop, I think they might have, like, if we had to do a who did it best for this, I feel like GameStop might have to have like this. I feel like it was a big dub for them on this,
I
at
got some
least in my
thoughts.
experience. And
I
then
got
with
some
the trade
thoughts.
in, and then if you're a pro member, which I don't know, so it was like a one time payment that I did like a while ago. It's like $20 or something, and you get it for the whole year, and you get like $5 coupons every month. There's also one where if you spend $250, like, oh, you get $25 gift card, which means that when I go pick my Switch up in June, I'll also get a $25 gift card that I can put toward another game that I won't have to pay $80 for. So I think they're
Yeah.
I think they're kind of winning with that. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. Caroline, you have a different story because you decided not to get one. Go ahead and.
Yeah, the retail remorse actually kicked in. So the whole week I was just kind of back and forth between whether I want to get the Switch 2 or not. And what did it for me was the hassle. I didn't want to deal with the hassle, which is actually kind of funny. So I went to bed pretty early, knowing that I'm like, okay, um, I'm just not gonna get it. But I had like 2 or 3 friends who were in line saying, "Hey, do you want my spot in line? I'm in like the Walmart line and the Best Buy line, and I can get you like one of the consoles or one of the bundles." Um, so I actually thought that I appreciated that. So it's not like I couldn't have gotten one. I just, for me, again, it was the retail remorse, and I kind of want to see how everybody's. I guess for me, I don't need to get the system right away, but I want to see what everybody's reviews and reactions are, especially with the controllers. Because my biggest issue was, are the controllers going to be durable? So there's that, but like the biggest reason for me was the launch games. So not saying that I'm not going to get Mario Kart. I just know that I'm gonna get the Switch 2, and I'm not gonna play it right away. So for me, there was just really no rush for me to buy the Switch 2. But I will eventually. I don't need it, and then again, it's just the buyer's remorse. The games that I'm excited for are not coming until the fall, so maybe I'll get the Switch 2 in the fall.
Okay. And Johnny, I know you said you thought about you this might be a console you think about getting in. Like, what did you think? I know you didn't try to pre-order, but
Right, yeah, I didn't. I'm happy to wait until a few months after when the rush is down. I think the last console that I like waited for in line back in like a physical line was for the Wii, and that was like I waited in front of Walmart, I think, for that. A long time ago. So yeah, I'm in no real rush. My PC's still here. My PC's good. Once they're plentiful and available, I might pick one up. I've had some regrets about pre-orders and all that recently. I guess something that comes to mind is Civ 7, which the more I've played, the more I realize how disappointed I am with it. So I'm waiting on I'm waiting on things for a while until I get over that, or at least until Civ 7 is improved.
Okay.
Not that a console and a game are one-to-one comparison, but still.
So my journey started at 11:55 as well. I set a timer to wake up. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, I'm getting on here, I'm getting this thing, I'm done. BJ said Best Buy, and they was doing a midnight release, so I was just gonna get that so I can go with this fool and go up there and get it. So I get there, 12 o'clock hits, I'm already tired. 12 o'clock hits, it's not up. I'm like, all right, let me keep clicking, still not up. So I get to like 12:10, and I go to Target because I wasn't getting it from Walmart for a personal reason. So I'm going to Target, and I'm like, all right. And they let me add it to cart and everything. Like, it wasn't going slow or anything. But I'm like, I want this thing at midnight. That's just how I am. I want this thing as soon as I can get it so I can play it. I want to go home, unwrap it, boom, 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 turn it on. So I'm like, I'm not ordering for Target. So a Best Buy, it goes to 12:20. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed. I was fine without getting it. I said 12:20. I'm fine without getting it. Not Walmart, Best Buy didn't even put it up. So I'm like, whatever. And I got a vendetta against GameStop. I had to because I feel like they cheat people out their money all the time. That's just me personally. So then it was take your child to work day. So my daughter's with me. So then I'm like, all right. So then BJ, his job is close to where I live. So he tells me that. So on the way taking my daughter to school, I drive past GameStop. Now it's like 6 people there. And I'm like, all right, whatever, still short. So I go to work. Go to work, and then he's texting. He's in line. Blah blah blah. So I ride past another GameStop on my way to work, and there's 0 people out there. I'm like, oh, okay, and which I'm gonna get to in a second. So then he says he secures one. So then I say, all right, I had to leave early from work to take my daughter to track practice, but then I sent her up a little bit earlier. Got one. They still had one, and the guy, it was funny because the guy I mean, if anybody who knows me, a guy. So I'm standing in line. A guy comes in there, and he's like, "It's these people at the desk," and then I'm here in line, and he steps like behind me, but then he steps in front of me like I'm just looking. I'm like, man, if you don't get behind me, you ain't gonna walk out. If you ain't gonna walk out the store today. And he kind of looked at him like. I'm looking at them like, yeah, I'm in line, man. So he was there to get a Switch too. I already knew because how eager he was. So we ended up both getting one, and the guy still said they had like 10 more left. So I think BJ, when you say, because I was listening to all these people online and listening to your story, my story, I think I don't want to say laziness, the convenience of going online, because I don't think many people went in store.
Yeah,
Everybody had a bad.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody had a bad experience because they were online. GameStop online. I tried to do that while I was still at work. That wasn't working either. That was like shut down immediately. But just the walking in the store, which no one doesn't do anymore, like it was quick, smooth. I was like, I didn't expect this to
You
even
came
go.
a little later.
Yeah, I was later in the day.
Yeah.
So
And the dude I talked to, he said the one in Monroe, he said they had pre-orders in store all the way up to like 7:00 that night.
Oh.
Yeah. Because people, it was like a decent line, but it's not like how them lines used to be back, like where you just looked at the line and you knew you wasn't getting it. It wasn't like that. It was more decently like, it was reasonable. And plus that store just had a bunch. I was really surprised that they had, because a lot of stores didn't get like that many.
Right.
So we really got lucky with that too.
You said the one down in Monroe had?
Yeah, they said they had I was talking to the guy at the store that I pre-ordered back.
Oh, I was
he
going
was
to say, if
saying
you're in
that-
Monroe, we should hang out, because that's my stomping grounds.
Yeah, no, I haven't been. I was over in Woodhaven, but the guy in Woodhaven was telling me that they had pre-orders all the way until 7 at night. Yeah, people just not going in there, man.
Nope.
That was the best way, honestly.
The easiest way. So I'm gonna just pull up, go up there with BJ, and we'll be like getting ours at the same time. And yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. One of the main I love games, so that is what it is. But BJ said a little bit ago stuck with me when we're talking about doing this podcast and all the stuff we're doing. And he said something like, if anything, I'm gonna get the Switch for the podcast sake, kind of like review it, say I have it, things like that. So that kind of stuck with me. Like if we're gonna be doing this, like I probably need to get it, a little bit, at least one of us, So it looks like two of us will have it, and we can share our experiences with each other and with other people who's watching. So it was easy, simple, way easier and simple than I thought it would be. And the tiredness made me have for a long day from being up at 12, because I woke up at 12, 11:55, and then went to bed, but I really didn't go to sleep. I was kind of up the whole night. So it was I don't do good with falling back to sleep. So anyways, it was a good experience. I want to segue that into this. So Nintendo says 2.2 million applied to pre-order a Switch on My Nintendo Store in Japan alone, and warns a significant number of customers will miss out. I want to get y'all thoughts on 2.2 million people pre-ordering, and we were talking about the games and the price and this, but it still seems like it's in high demand. What does that say or doesn't say about the gaming market? About the Switch too, excuse me. So can anybody speak on that, Johnny? What do you think that says about?
Yeah, I think the price of games has been really steady for a very long time, and in fact, if we consider inflation, games have gotten cheaper over the course of them being purchased. So obviously I'm not going to celebrate higher prices for us to pay for games, but it makes sense in a lot of ways, just because inflation has been what it's been and everything's going up. Why shouldn't games go up if everything's going up? I think we end up paying $70 or more for a lot of our games anyway, excluding like a lot of indie games that are probably the best of the gaming genre right now, where they can be, because there's a lot of trash. But the good indie games are maybe $15-$20 still, and are a hell of a lot of fun. But for AAA titles, I think one way or another, you end up paying $60, $70 or more. Anyway, they get it out of you somehow, either via expansions or microtransactions, that sort of thing. They're going to get their money one way or another. So the $10 or $20 increase to $70, $80 for a game, I don't think it's that big of an impact. Clearly, it's not stopping people from buying their system and won't stop them from buying their games. So it feels like an unfortunate reality, but probably not all that different from what we've already been experiencing.
Fair enough. Caroline?
Yeah, I agree with Johnny. And gaming is alive. I think Dilo in a previous podcast said that gaming is only going to get expensive, and people are still going to buy it anyways because it is what it is. It's not. I don't even. Again, it's not like the prices went from $60 to like $120, right? So it's, to me, in some way, it's reasonable.
I just paid $120 for Civ 7, and I hate it.
Okay, that's the exception, clearly. And then GTA is going to be $100, right?
Right.
So yeah, it says a lot that gaming's still alive, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Same thing with Nintendo. Nintendo is, I think there are a lot of talks saying that Nintendo isn't doing well, and obviously with these pre-orders and with the excitement of the Switch 2, I don't think Nintendo's going anywhere at all.
No, not at all. Agreed. VJ?
Yeah, I also agree with Johnny, and I was saying the exact same thing the other day because I was just having a conversation with some of my friends after I got my pre-order, and we were just kind of discussing the price. Everything's going up. Like, unfortunately, it just is what it is, and there's really not too much we can do about it. So it makes sense that these games are gonna also go up to $80. I don't want to pay it, and will I, try to find ways around it? Absolutely, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like, what do we expect? Like, we weren't going to be paying $50, $60 forever. I mean, there was a time when you can get a game for $30, $40 and it was brand new, like, it's just the way of the world. Everything's going up, groceries going up.
People still want their Mario, dude.
Yeah, and for it, people still want their Mario, that's why. And I think that's really why, another thing they did, the bundle got pushed really hard because it's like, you're saving $30 on the game, It's like, I don't think I knew a person that didn't want the bundle, like, like, it's like, no, even if you may not have wanted to play Mario Kart that crazily, like, it's almost like, better get this game for $50 because you can't get any game for $50 most of the time now, unless, again, like an indie, which, like we said, and I can agree with that to an extent, that indie has kind of been making the best games as of late. Yeah, I mean, am I happy about it? I don't like. Sometimes I kind of hate like talking about it like this because I would love for them to go back on it, but I just know it's never going to happen. And clearly, people don't care as much as they seem to have tried to act like they did. Because, like I said, the 2 point. I kind of get Japan because we also got to remember the console's $100 cheaper in Japan, so that's even more incentive for them to get it. But over here too, you see all the websites crashing from people trying to trip over each other getting them. Lines in stores is just like it was any other time. And me personally, I never really thought like the console price was really even the issue. More is just the games themselves is what I don't like. So I don't know. Like I will be trying to find ways around it at every turn, but this is where we are now, and I guess we should expect to see all the other companies follow suit because the Switch 2 pre-orders have been going crazy. So that,
well, comparatively, I'd say Nintendo's. I would say from my exposure has been pretty well behaved as far as like nickel and diming people and like getting additional money somehow. Do you have to pay for Nintendo Online?
Yes.
Now?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And that's another
maybe
thing.
Not. Maybe
It's cheap though. It's cheap. It's like
not-
20
yeah.
a year.
Which is
Okay.
what I was just about to say. I wonder
It's
if they're
cheap.
going to try to also go up on that now. Since they're adding all new features, they're going to be like, well, now we got game chat and just like everybody else. So Now we can charge $50 just like everybody else.
Don't you have to be like a premium online member for the GameCube games or something like that?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Right, yeah. We've added the GameCube. We know how much all you 90s babies love them GameCubes. Like
that's the most attractive thing about the console to me so far. But the roster right now looks kind of weak, to be frank. I want to see more games, and I understand they'll have to like figure out what they've actually got. They probably only have rights to publish or to have so many available because publishers probably have to agree to have their game on the platform again. But I feel like so many of the good games were like these kind of niche, like weird games on the GameCube that like I would be surprised if they. I hope somewhere there's some contract that says that they've got the rights to re-release these games however they want, because there are so many games of the GameCube that I would want to play.
Yeah, they release games, at least not. Again, they have other systems on there. They release games like every month. On like the Super Nintendo and the Genesis. So you're not stuck with just like the 10 games initially that's going to get released. And I'm sure they're going to do that with the GameCube too.
They release Genesis games?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I guess Nintendo does.
I didn't know they released Genesis games.
Yeah.
I knew SNES, I knew Nintendo. I didn't know they released Genesis. Okay.
They sure do. They sure do.
Gosh.
I played my Fantasy Star. I played my Sonic.
Nice.
Okay. I think people say a lot of things, and I'm not gonna say it's based on like wealth or anything like that, but I think people like to complain about some stuff, and then when push comes to shove, and it's like, oh, this console costs $500, I was complaining, but I'm still gonna get it. Like a lot of people, I think a lot of people do that, just like to hear themselves talk.
What do you mean? What do you mean people like to complain? What are you talking about?
Sometimes the complaints are valid, Johnny. Believe me. But I'm just talking about like big stuff like that. You complain about prices,
I actually don't think I've said anything negative today. For the record, I don't think I've complained once.
No, you said something about Civ 7.
Oh yeah, never mind. You're right. Oops.
But like this new car is coming out and it's gonna cost this much, and then it's like I'm not buying it, but then you see 5 people in line to buy that car, and it's like, well, I really wanted to. I can't let them get above me. And then I think a lot of people's minds work like that. The only pushback I would give to you guys is, and I've said it before, like, okay, in year 3025 or whatever like that, is games gonna cost $250 a game? Because we're saying prices go up, we can say that forever. So in year 4000, is console gonna cost $1,000 or $2,000? Like we can't. It's milk. When we were younger, I'm sure you guys remember bags of chips used to cost 25 cents. Now they up. So you're gonna tell me a small bag of chips gonna cost $10? Because that don't compute to me. And we're gonna say things just gonna keep going up. If that's gonna happen, then stuff's gonna get astronomically.
I think we'll see $10 chips in our lifetime. In terms of in terms of games, gosh, in 1,000 years, I don't. Will we even
won't be alive?
Yeah, gosh, it's hard to even think about that.
But you know what I mean.
It's hard to sort of see what the gaming market specifically would be with so much uncertainty in the larger financial economic system. One thing is certain: things will always be more and more expensive, and we will have to try to catch up one way or another.
Man, one day, man.
I just can't, like I said, I just can't see, like, a pack of gum used to be 25 cents and now it's not anymore. I don't know how much it is, but I can't see, all right, you go get a small pack of gum for $5. It's like, damn, that used to be 25 cents. You need to go tell me everything's just going to keep, because the pay don't usually go up when we're talking about this. We talk about inflation, none of our pay is going up. It might be going up a little bit, but it ain't going up like this stuff's going up.
Keep up with inflation, yeah.
Hasn't been keeping up, yeah.
And I personally, I don't know how people feel about this, but when new consoles come out and people online, some people can't get them, some people can. For me, that's exciting. I don't know if I'm putting it in the correct words, but like, all right, like my mom got me a lot of consoles growing up. She had to stand in line for my GameCube for things like that. But I got home knowing that, all right, I got a GameCube. Meanwhile, I got friends coming over like, all right, we can bring us together because we want to play too. We got the game. Let's do this. Let's do that. I think that's kind of exciting that nothing against the people who don't get it, but I think it's exciting that everyone can get it on day one, just because boom, 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 it's excitement, kind of brings people together. It's people searching for it, things like that. So I think that's pretty cool. I've always liked that, and I still kind of like it. I think that's pretty like don't necessarily make enough for everyone to get one, because that's kind of difficult anyway, because you gotta take the Wii U, for example, and that travesty that it was. Or Concord, but that's a story for another day.
I feel like the society has changed so much since then. It's like a question came to my mind hearing you talk about that. Do people even have real life friends anymore? I mean, I know like we meet up from time to time and we hang out, but it's like I feel like people even since before COVID have become so isolated, and gaming has become a much more, even if you're playing with other people, it tends to be more solitary experience than it used to be. So it's, I don't know, sad commentary on the nature of human relation these days.
Yeah, and that's where I mean, we can do whatever we want with this podcast because it's all of ours, so we're gonna keep going. But that's where I get so, I don't want to say distraught, but maybe confused, but a little bit like when you tell me you like playing the games by yourself, and I'm hearing these guys, and it's like, all right, am I really gonna play Call of Duty by myself, or am I really gonna play, I don't know, League of Legends by myself? And these people who I'm listening to are not even talking about just single player games; they're talking about multiplayer games. I just don't want to play anyone. I want to be there by my. And I'm like, to me, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, that's the whole point of playing Call of Duty, or if we play Diablo or Power World or whatever it is. It's one thing playing Persona, which is a single player game, but playing Marvel Rivals by myself doesn't seem to, I don't know, it defeats the point to me. And it kind of goes to what you just said. Like, the people just want to kind of be alone, play by themselves, and be kind of, makes me a little bit sad, to be honest, but I just like playing. I grew up playing games with people, and that's what I enjoy. What would you say to that, Johnny? Like, do you feel that same way?
I think there are games. So speaking specifically about the I've got a lot to say. Let's see where to start. So I think playing certain games online. So the League of Legends, for example, the community is awful, and honestly, it's easier to play if you like turn off communications, because if you don't, one way or another, even if you play perfectly, which I'm sure I don't do, you will catch heat from someone at some point who is either like projecting their own failure onto you, or maybe legitimately calling you out in a way that's, so there is a social aspect that, like, unless you have like a taste for like a social combat or whatever, it's just not very pleasant. So like, I don't know. I don't really like that sort of I guess shit talking. Yeah, I don't like, I'm not in the shit talking game. And it's hard to play online games and enjoy the experience. It's hard to play multiplayer games knowing that that's coming. So in a lot of cases, I will prefer single player. And if I really want to play a game and it's multiplayer, and I know that I'm playing online with strangers, so strangers and friends is very different. So playing with friends, I would probably almost always prefer to play with friends. So to provide some maybe more explanation to my answer before, I would always say prefer to play with friends instead of with strangers who who can be wretched at times. And that's not to say that I'm not wretched too. So just to say, But I think I think I tend to prefer multiplayer games overall. There are some experiences in which I prefer single player, but most of the time I am playing multiplayer games.
Yeah, and I was speaking specifically, like if I'm playing Dead by Daylight, like I do, and if I'm playing
that's another bad one. Yeah, with the playing with you,
the community, the people who I'm playing with, I might necessarily be, because there's no communication on there, so I might necessarily be with them. But
on PC there is. Okay, and it's awful, and it's horrible. Okay. It's probably worse than League, to be frank.
Yeah, but I'm kind of speaking like to. Like if me and you were playing, like kind of what BJ and his friends do, they get in Discord, they play all the time. Like if we were playing League, I wouldn't necessarily be with randoms. Like if I was playing League, I would be playing with friends. Usually when I'm playing a game, I'm playing with some type of friends. So then I'm communicating with them. But some of these people I'm listening to, like no, I don't want to play with my friends either. I just want to play this game by myself. Boom, and I'm like, okay, that seems like kind of, even if it's a multiplayer game, and they were kind of saying like, all right, if I'm playing with friends, I'm gonna be in my own chat and they can be in their own. Like we don't even need communication. I was like, that's kind of defeats the purpose for me.
Sure. For me, I could see that probably for exclusively Diablo 2, and then maybe for a handful of single player games. I might be in a mood where like I want to play this game. I'm playing it. I'll be in the room with you guys. But otherwise, I think in a multiplayer setting game, for the most part, I would always prefer to play with friends.
Yeah. BJ, Caroline, any quick thoughts on that? I know we talked about it before, but
Well, I don't know. One thing that I just kind of wanted to throw in, at least about with the Switch, going into the store, like doing that pre-order for the Switch 2, it reminded me of like the old days when I used to go back in the day when I used to go to the Call of Duty midnight release I remember going to like the Fallout 4, like they don't you don't really get that no more. Like before, it was like every game was always like, oh, you at GameStop for the midnight release, It was like every other game you would be like, oh, got to go up there. You get in line and like you don't know any of these people. But by the time everything starts moving, you done probably made a friend, maybe not a friend, but you didn't got cool with a couple of people in line just shooting the shit. It was kind of nice. It really reminded me of the old days of gaming, man. Just kind of wait, it sound crazy, waiting in the line for 2 hours, but it was fun. It was fun.
sound normal to me. I like it. I like the nostalgia. I like it. Caroline, anything to add?
Yeah, I agree with it depends on the game, and I'm one of those gamers that actually does like playing by myself certain games, but I mean, I like playing Diablo by myself, but I wouldn't mind like playing with friends too if they have the ability to play it as well. I've done both and I enjoyed both. So I think it depends on, you know, the type of gamer you are.
Mm-hmm.
So at least for me, I I know I sent you that shirt and like how you relax is playing
That's
with
me.
people. Yeah. For me, I can relax that way, but I can also, depending on how my week goes, I'm like, I think I just need some time for myself to decompress. So that's why I play a lot of single player games. And that being said, I don't think I've ever actually said, hey, I don't think I've actually said no to people saying, hey, let's go play Mario Kart right now, or let's go play Mario Party. Or, it's just the opportunity doesn't always present itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I like the conversation. Yeah. All right. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, a new RPG. Just came out this week. It is on Game Pass. It's already sold over 500,000 copies. It's getting good, very, 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 very good reviews. I heard multiple people say it's their game of the year so far, even though we just had this conversation last week. So hopefully, I want to see what BJ has to say, and I'm gonna go second since I played it because this ain't my type of game. But BJ, go ahead, man. What you think of it? How long have you been playing it? What you think of it?
Honestly, I haven't gotten very far. Not as far as I'd like to get so far. I'd say I just beat what I'll consider the first boss and got to like the overworld.
Okay. With the like ice guy.
Is it ice? I guess he had like the spears or whatever, and he was like coming down. Yeah, so like the little first boss area, after you beat him, it looks like there's like an overworld, which I haven't got to. That was literally like right before I came on to do the podcast, so I haven't got a chance to really explore into that part yet. But I'll tell you, from the moment that I turned the game on, it already felt like I was in for a treat because it's got the music is very it's very theatrical, like it's very like dramatic, and it's got a lot going on and a lot of like they got the pianos going crazy and all the different instruments so I'm really enjoying the music. I'm enjoying the setting is like kind of like a dystopian world or whatever going on. I don't without saying too much. Graphically, I think graphically it's got this thing going where like the backgrounds and the environments all look beautiful, but the character models themselves, I feel like they look kind of goofy sometimes. Like, especially like when there's something going on, they're like doing close-ups on faces and stuff. The characters, I feel like they look just a little goofy, but the environments are very beautiful, even just from right here. Like, just looking at this, and this is I don't know what's going on here, so.
It looks like it's reminiscent of Final Fantasy.
It's got some Final Fantasy elements with the exploration and everything. The combat is more of like if you ever play Mario RPG, I would say, because it's turn-based, but then it's also like you do your skills and you have to like press the button like the QTE where you have to press the button to get like better damage, and then you're also able to press a button to dodge an attack. You have to time it. So for me, the combat was very reminiscent of like a Mario RPG or like a Paper Mario, which is also good. So I haven't gotten far enough to really know what's going on with the story yet. I'm still a little confused. They haven't really explained too much yet. They just kind of throw you into it, so I really don't know everything exactly what's going on yet. But it seems kind of promising. I'm willing to give it a chance to get to see where the story is going. I definitely see why people enjoy it and why people are kind of high on it right now, though. And I've been enjoying it as a big RPG fan. You know, starting out our RPGs way back in the day until now, and always been stuck to them. I see why people are giving it this big praise so far. I think it's good. I don't know if I'm willing to give it all that just yet because I haven't gotten that far and I still need to see the story. But I definitely think it's off to a solid start, and I see why people are going crazy over it right now.
Okay, I forgot to show my word specifically. I'm so close to the camera. I do have my brand new Mario Kart shirt on, so I'm
Oh,
Mario
nice.
Kart lover. So as a non-RPG guy, this is not my type of game. So I would like to say that currently, after just those few hours, this could possibly be my game of the year. Loving this game. This ain't even in my wheelhouse. Like, loving this game. Like BJ was texting in the chat yesterday. He's talking about the music. I'm just sitting there, and it's like I'm probably like a kid in a candy store. So I'm looking up, and my eyes are like glazed over, and I'm just like, how is this game like hooking me? The combat, the little battle. Now, once again, I don't play these type of games. So for me, it's just like, all right, this is cool, and this music, and the music's like bringing me into the game, and I'm doing these jumps, and I'm doing these, that perfectly dodging and then parrying, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good, and it's doing something that I like games to do. Like I'm not getting all perfect parry, so I'm dying, and I like harder games, so I'm actually dying. Like I lost to a boss yesterday, like 5 or 6 times, and I was like, all right, this, it's not that easy, and I very thoroughly enjoy it. The world looks, it's a lot going on. They put you in you were in, BJ, did the world open up to where they were like at the top point of view? Did you get to that point?
Yeah, that's where I just got the little overworld. I literally just got there. I didn't get to like walk around.
Yeah, so
right before the podcast. So
that's cool. I'm really thoroughly enjoying the game, and this is a game I thought I was like, all right, let's try this out. I'm gonna put this junk down. But I listened to one guy. He's like, this is my game of the year. I'm like, all right, I'll try this thing out. And I'm very, very, very happy with it right now. I can't wait to play more of it, which is not usual. Like I said, Johnny is giving me. Now I didn't play, Final Fantasy and all that stuff, but just looking at some of the video where we were looking at and how I'm feeling when I'm playing it is giving me like that Phantasy Star feel a little bit. Just for me personally, it's giving me a little bit of like, because I don't play too many RPGs. RPGs aren't my thing. So yeah, I'm excited over it. The music just keeps me going. The bosses, the enemies, it's very exciting for me. So it might not end up being my game of the year, but so far, like me playing it 5-6 hours in, I'm really thoroughly enjoying it. So yeah, I wanted to go next because that was a surprise for myself. So I'm sure it's a surprise for everyone here. Caroline?
Is it exclusive? Because I remember this was in the Xbox Direct, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is.
I think it's on Steam.
Yeah, it's definitely on Steam.
Okay.
We're about to find out.
Yeah.
It's on PS5.
Yeah.
Hearing you guys play it. Hearing you guys talk about it, I just bought it, and
wow!
Wow, okay,
it's now installing. Yeah, BJ, you had me at like Mario RPG.
It's just because you know how the combat is, where you always get the opportunity to dodge, and if you time it right, then you get the dodge.
I remember talking about this at the Xbox Direct. I had forgotten that it was turn-based, which is, I love turn-based games. That would be my style of RPG. I'm all about like timed attacks and defense, that sort of thing. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I remember having a lot of fun with it playing Mario RPG as a kid. Yeah, I'm down to give it a try. And the beautiful thing about playing on PC, at least through Steam, is if you don't like a game within 2 hours, you can return it.
That's a good point.
Foreshadowing of my experience with Oblivion Remastered. So,
Uh-oh.
I think we're talking.
Oh, we are next.
Now we gotta
Okay.
get there.
Yeah. So, and then I've been seeing the gameplay on YouTube, and so people playing it. It's definitely my type of game. I know. I think I said that the story is actually a lot different when we were watching the Xbox Direct. That I really like the story and how it's going to be different than your typical RPG of like saving the world somehow. You really like. At least that's my impression of the game. But the gameplay is what draws me. And then now that BJ said it's like Super Mario RPG, I'm like, you know what? I'm sold. Like I should probably get it as well, despite my stack. I know I always talk about my stack, but
And while we're talking about the price of games, not to interrupt Caroline, but it's
Yeah.
I just paid like $44 for it or something.
oh, even
45
better.
Because on Steam it's on sale for 10% off for some reason, and it's only normally $50. So
Yeah, I think today I'm gonna end up buying a bunch of games.
it might be a shorter game. I just looked up
It
and
is.
it's like
It is.
30 hours or something like that, which
Okay.
isn't like short, but there are more
30
expensive games that have taken shorter time than that.
Oh yeah, Metroid Dread I think only put 25 hours in, and that was $60.
Mhm.
So
But yeah,
no,
and
it looks great.
I think that
I'm
element
actually
of
excited. I'm actually excited.
yeah, I think that element of like keeping you in, even though it's turn based, you still it keeps you on your toes with the dodging and parrying. I think that's the type of thing that probably gets somebody like Andre to want to play it more, because your basic
Right.
turn based is more of like you're kind of strategizing.
Waiting.
Especially, and
Yeah.
it shows you, it's one of the ones where it shows you like, okay, this person's going in the top corner, it'll be like this person's going, then this person. So you see all the turn order and everything. So you
Mhm.
just kind of like strategize around that. Now this one, yeah, like I said, it keeps you on your toes with the also like semi-action element of you can dodge or parry. There's two options, but it does also seem like, and I wonder, and maybe it's gonna be the challenge of, because I kind of was getting into the groove of it to this morning while I was playing it, where it's like you just perfect parry everything, and if you like the monster does like a combo attack, if you perfect parry the entire combo, you get like a counter hit. So it kind of feels like if you're like really good at that kind of thing, you could probably like God mode the game and just parry every single attack. But I mean, I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm sure there's gonna be some enemies that are gonna present a different look. So
I'm sure that there's going to be like perfect parry runs on YouTube,
yeah,
like in a week.
exactly.
In a week.
Parry every single attack
Yeah.
in the whole game. So yeah, but I'm excited to get more into it because I didn't really get to get that far.
Yeah, mine will be downloaded and installed within an
I
hour.
can't wait to listen to music because I do like a really good
Well,
That's
soundtrack.
good.
that's the best part. I
That's
would
good
say.
to me.
And then it's like at every step, I'm like, can I get a break? Like I'm in the pause menu, is going crazy.
Mhm.
You in the you standing there, is going crazy. You turn the game on, I'm like, can I get a break at some point? Like, geez, let me get
Sensory overload sounds like.
some. Yeah, it's like, but it's really good though. It's really good.
Super good. So Johnny mentioned this. So our next one, I guess this is kind of a week for the return of RPGs. The Oblivion remaster. Some people are saying, is it a remake, remaster? I'm hearing a lot of people like it, but we might get a different part of the story right here. We about to find out. I heard it was doing very well. It was kind of shadow dropped, which I think was cool. They just mentioned it, boom, 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 then dropped it. So Johnny, go ahead, take off.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Oblivion when it came out. I played the hell out of that game. Honestly, probably more than Skyrim, just because of the time of my life when it came out and the time that I had at that time. I downloaded this. I kind of knew it was coming out, and I figured, I'll probably get it because it's freaking Oblivion, right? How could I not? And then I did. And then I played it, and I was like, oh, it is actually just Oblivion. And it's like polished, like they upgraded the graphics, and like the combat is a bit more smooth, I'll say. But it as I was playing it, it very quickly felt to me that it was not different enough to justify a $50 purchase when I've got the old game installed on my PC already, and I could just play it. So I mean, it's if it had been a little bit more different, Like if you could like craft your own armor or something, then I think I get it. You can make your madness armor or your whatever the hell the amber armor in Shivering Isles. I get it, but I don't know. There were some things that I would have liked to see different if they did more of an overhaul of the level up system or put in honestly like a Skyrim style perk system, because I think that the way that it's done in Oblivion, even the remake is kind of dated. Yeah, I don't know. If it was different enough, it would have justified a purchase. But I played it for, I think it was like I got to a point where I was like, oh, this is not different enough. And then I checked how long I'd played, and I was at like 90 minutes or something like that. So I was 30 minutes shy of the refund cutoff, and I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to pour in much more time to this. So it's what I think is really great about it, though, is it is probably a more accessible or more it's a version of Oblivion that a lot more people will be able to get into, because it's been what 15 20 years since Oblivion came out. Gosh,
Can you still purchase the original Oblivion?
probably. I bet you on Steam. I bet you can. Yeah, I'm sure. It is so. It is an old game, so like you got a lot of, you have to put up with a lot of like old game stuff, like ridiculous like graphics sometimes and that sort of thing. So one nice thing that comes out that will come out of this is that people that haven't played Oblivion before will probably have a better experience with this version than with the old one. It is not that much improved or that different to justify me buying it again. So most super fans of Oblivion will probably buy it and be really happy with it. I'm not so displeased with the original Oblivion to justify the new one.
Okay, Caroline, this is a game you think you would want to play or anything?
I never got into the Elder Scrolls games, so my only thoughts on this is that I think the appeal is for people. That's why I asked the question if you can buy the original Oblivion. I think the appeal would be for people who have not played the original, and if they didn't have access to the original. And I say this because it's like that with me and my Nintendo games. So like I didn't have a Wii. I had a GameCube, but I didn't have a Wii and kind of everything in between that and the Switch. And so when they do like these remasters or definitive editions of games that I didn't have access to, so like Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one, some of the Zelda games, they do like remasters or definitive editions is what they would call it. And I would buy that, but that's because like Skyward Sword for Zelda, I bought that just because I didn't get a chance to play it when the release came out. So that's my thoughts. It looks like a good game. There's at least like the original game had a lot of positive reviews. I just personally wouldn't get it only because I just never really got into it. The Expedition 33 looked a lot more exciting to me, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I refunded mine to now say like, oh, that's money I had already kind of earmarked for games. I've got this now outstanding. I'm just going to sink it into Expedition 3. That ran through my mind. I was like, well, I didn't pay for that, so I can buy this.
Nice. BJ?
Yeah, I'm kind of like Caroline. Like, I've tried to get into these Elder Scrolls games, and I could never really do it. Like, it really only holds my attention for so long. Like, I think it's just the combat for me. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't get over it. I just feel like you just swing the sword and then there's like nothing there. And I don't know. Like, maybe I could be off base. This is kind of how I feel. Like I said, like I'm playing the Oblivion remake and I'm getting beat up by the rat. I'm trying to block. I mean, it don't seem like it works. Like maybe I'm just bad. Like I mean that could be fair that I'm just bad. But I'm like sitting there and I didn't turn the difficulty all the way up. I just turned it up one notch. And I'm fighting with this rat, and this rat is like doing way more damage to me than I'm doing it. And I'm trying to like either kite or block, and I just can't figure it out. And it just feels weird. The combat just always felt weird to me. I don't know. I'm going to go back to it at some point, but I think I'm probably gonna. Well, it depends on how the story goes. I think I'm gonna probably play the Expedition 33 all the way through, just to, especially if it's only 30 hours, then I feel like I should go ahead and just get through it, even just to see what's going on. But as far as that, I just could never really get into those games. Like I even played the original Oblivion way back when, and even that I didn't really get that far. Like I probably played it for an hour or two and then never played it again. Skyrim. I've restarted that game multiple occasions and always end up kind of dropping it after a couple hours. So I guess I just don't think that they're really my type of game.
Okay.
So
Um, I got this new thing since starting this with you guys, where I said I don't do the single players, but I got the Clair Obscur. So if I start something from now on, then I'm going to try to finish it. So this is something that just doesn't really appeal to me, and if I start it, I'm going to have to hold myself to finish it. So I don't think I'm going to start it. I would be more available if it was like the Elder Scroll Online, which I heard is really popular, and you can play with tons and tons of people. Like that might be an Elder Scrolls I would play, but this just doesn't seem too appealing to me. Um, I guess I don't want to try to get them any money, but Johnny, thinking about what you said, that's why Game Pass is so good, man. They got so many games you can try. I think the lower tier costs like $9 or $10 a month, but so many games you could try that I wouldn't have tried. Maybe BJ wouldn't have tried, because I could just try it on there instead of buying it. We could just try it on there. If we don't like it, uninstall it. But I won't be installing it at all. I'm gonna finish the Clair Obscur, but it seems. I mean, it is what it is. I've seen video of it before. It is what it is. It's just not something that is appealing to me at this moment. um, which brings me to all three of you, and I was listening to people talking there, talking about these kind of games. What kind of RPG do you like? You like the turn based, or you like the live action kind of ones like that? So I just, like I said, I really don't play them much, so I will lean on y'all. So which one do you prefer? I want to start with Johnny. Which kind of RPG do you prefer?
real quick, give me
Honestly,
1 second. You guys can go. I just gotta go check something real quick.
sure thing. Honestly, I like both. I like the idea of like playing a character who you can like progress, who you can who has skills that go up over time as you use them, that sort of thing. I think if I were hard pressed, I would probably pick turn based games. I think just because I think I prefer strategy over mechanics, over play mechanics. I think typically, which is not always true. But I think I would say turn based, just because you can move, you can move slow, you can have time to think about what you're doing, you can make a strategy, and I find that to be a lot of fun. And I guess that speaks to maybe why I like games like Civ as well. It's because you can think about stuff. So yeah.
See that?
Yeah, I like both as well. I think it depends on the game. So for me, it's always about gameplay, and so I I would say I'm a little bit more partial to turn-based only because I grew up playing turn-based RPGs. So I love my JRPGs.
Yeah,
They're still
even
like
Pokemon, I think.
yeah,
So yeah.
yep. So
Technically,
um, yeah, so for me, I'm a little bit partial to that, but I think I've definitely played turn-based RPGs where it gets kind of boring and I get really frustrated and I'm just doing attack the whole time and still killing everybody because I'm OP'd right now. So the action-based games, or the action-based RPGs, they can be fun too. I think it also really depends on the game and it also really depends on my mood. Um, Final Fantasy 16 was more action based and I really liked it, and it kind of deferred from, your typical Final Fantasy games where it's all turn based. Um, Mario RPG, that's a great one too. Like I like the strategy of turn based games as well. So, but again, it all really depends on, the rest of the mechanics of the game for me.
Mhm. Yeah, it's hard to pick one over the other. I know I
Yeah.
settled on turn based, but I mean, so for action RPGs, we're talking about the Elder Scrolls games, we're talking about
Mhm.
Fallout, the whole series. Those are, well, once upon a time, Fallout was turn based, but in the modern era, um, yeah, it would be hard to settle on just one
Yeah.
style.
And our son, I thought I seen, because I seen Muhammad, who was on the podcast. I think he was playing one of the Final Fantasies, which was not turn based. It was like kind of like live action. They were fighting. It wasn't necessarily turn based. I'm not sure which one it was. but I seen him playing like one like that. BJ.
Um, I'm definitely more of the turn based, but I mean that's kind of just where I started. Like that. Like I said, one of the first real RPGs that I played was Final Fantasy X. And it was just one that I still love to this day. So I definitely am more of of the strategy mindset. Like I like seeing, okay, these turns, do I need to heal? Do I need to put up some buffs, or should I just go all out and attack? Like I like to have that extra layer of thought to it. And not to say that action there's no thought to it, but like turn based is like that. You have, especially if it's good and there is some difficulty to it, then you have to like plan everything out, or you're gonna get like wiped out. Like between me, I've played Persona, Final Fantasy. There was this one that I used to really like called oh, it was on Xbox 360. I can't remember what it's called. Lost Odyssey.
Okay, yeah,
That was another one that I really liked from back in the day. Like,
heard of that.
oh, turn based is just, I guess it's kind of the more old school way as well. Not that like I'm that old, but that's just, just kind of what I grew up on. So I think that's just kind of what I prefer. Like action sometimes sometimes you just dissolves to spamming square the entire time. And at least for me, like sometimes I don't even use my abilities. Like I'm just square,
Yeah.
square, square. Like even like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, most of that game I just spam square through the whole game. Like I don't know, like, but in turn based it's the same thing. It could get, like you say, if you're really like grinding, if you're over leveled or something, you can just go through. You don't need to do skills. You can just press attack and this. And some games even have like the built-in where you can just auto, and then it just does attack for you and get like Persona does that, where you can like auto battle and then it'll just have everybody do attack over and over and over again.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. Like I say, maybe I'm just old school. The turn based is just always it for me. And they try to do like the combination of the two with like the action turn based in some games, like Final Fantasy X-2, if anybody played it, tried to
Mhm.
do it. Um, even I don't even know if I would call Final Fantasy 13. I mean, it kind of is action ATB in some way. I don't know. You don't really actually attack, so maybe it's not action. But I definitely prefer like a more like turn based, more strategy based style. Like the perfect example would be Dragon Age when they went from the first game, how that combat was, to the second game when it was just like pretty much full out action, and I just didn't like it as much. So I'm definitely a turn based guy.
Yeah, I think for me with RPGs, it's not a matter of turn-based versus action. I what I really hate is actually the random encounters. I don't know if you guys played the old school JRPGs where
Yeah, 10.
like I can't move like 10 feet
Yep.
until for like
Well,
it's horrible. It's horrible. So
Yep.
that's
Yep.
that's my gripe about RPGs.
Yeah,
that
I feel
would
like
be.
that's.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
BJ.
go ahead. Oh, so I feel like that's more of like an old style. I don't feel like games really do that anymore now.
Thank God.
A lot of time now it's kind of like where you can actually see the monster there and you can like walk up to it if you want to. And
One of these games that I know we were talking about at the old Xbox Direct, it has like an overworld, right? Is it? It's not this one, is it? It's not Expedition 33. Which
it does have an overall. I
Yeah,
just
it has
got
a
to it, so
yeah.
I haven't gotten a chance.
it might be one of those games with
If,
like encounters. It might
yeah, it
be.
kind of reminds me if you've ever.
Random.
Well, I guess
I
it's
kind of
not.
hope so. To be frank, I kind of hope so.
Kind of
Well,
reminds me if anybody's. I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say my only deterrent for this is kind of what Caroline just said. Like I was in the overworld and I just left the overworld and then like I'm walking like BJ said you can see the monster, so I'm like okay cool, like I ain't gonna be in grass like as Ash Ketchum, and every couple steps you get stopped and then all of a sudden I'm in a battle. I'm like bro, I didn't even take any. It was just one little small section, but I couldn't even walk because I'm like these dudes. As soon as you turn around, they just came up. I'm like bro, come on man. I don't want too many of
So
those.
annoying.
If
It's
you're
so
gonna
annoying.
grind, you need those spots. Those are spots for
Man.
grinding, man. That's where
What
you.
if I don't want to grind anymore?
Yeah.
It's like I grinded enough. I don't
play
I don't want any more random
JRPGs.
encounters.
That's classic RPGs, man. Like that's like the classic style. Like because even Pokemon has gotten away from doing that now. Because you can
Thank
see
God.
like the more recent Pokemon games, you can see everything kind of in the world. But that's like the Clair. I don't know if anybody's ever played any of the Tales of games, like Tales of
Symphonia.
Symphonia or
Yeah.
Symphonia, yeah.
Vesperia or any of that. That's what the overworld kind of reminded me of. From what I saw, again, I didn't really get to do a lot of exploration yet, but from what I saw, it kind of reminded me of like because even in the overworld and Tales, the monsters were all there, and you could decide what you wanted to do with them. So yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see how. I can't wait to hear next week how you guys feel about Clair Obscur. It seems like at least multiple of us are going to be playing it, so that'll be fun. All right. I really struggle with this one, so we'll see. Here it is, last duel. I struggled because my friend Muhammad gave me a list, and I didn't know to go easy or hard. I didn't really. It's deeming what I would consider easy and hard. So I randomly picked one. I won't tell you if it's hard or easy. I'll just give you the small note because I tell everyone who sends me to give me a small note. It said this game is very similar to one of the most popular games out there, but I'm a fan of this style and the casual ceiling is very low when you play this game.
Can I burn? I'm gonna burn a question right off. I got a feeling. Do you guys mind if I just burn one for a shot in the dark?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Is this game Overwatch?
That's kind of what I thought. Also, I ain't gonna lie. That was the same thought that came to my head. I ain't gonna lie.
So for sake of when you ask, you can't that's like the final question. You can't really ask this. But for
Does this game start with an O?
Yeah, for sake of that, no, it doesn't. No.
Okay. I thought I had the same thought because he's like, okay, you got Marvel Rivals, but he prefers Overwatch still. Like, I can see that. Like I had that same line of thought. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. He does love Overwatch. He does love Overwatch.
And I know that Mo plays Overwatch too.
So we know it starts. So you said to my question, does it start with an O?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what do you mean by casual ceiling? Is that what?
Like it's easy to get in. It's easy for people to get into and maybe learn this game. Maybe this world is easy to jump. It's not like what's that game that everyone likes? It's not like hard like Elden Ring, like something like that.
So anything with an O is out.
Hey, for a second, Johnny, I'm like, this dude about to get it on question one. All right, man.
Let's see.
I don't blame him.
Did the game come out within the last 10 years?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Between 2015 and all right.
So the note said that there's a more a popular style of this, or a game of this style that's popular. Is it a shooter?
No.
Okay. Now I kind of have other thoughts. Is it? I don't want to. It's like I don't like asking just one genre because it feels kind of like a waste. But then when you ask multiple genres, you still don't know which one it was out of the three that you asked. So then you still have to think about that.
Unless all three are no, then you eliminated a ton.
I guess that's also true.
Can we assume it's not an exclusive, just based on the description that Andre gave?
Now I'm curious. Like I feel like this is a game that has a lot of clones out there.
Yeah, we know it's not a shooter. Just because that was the first thing that came to mind with like that it's sort of a recreation of a different sort of game. What are you thinking of particular genres, BJ?
I don't know. Like I'm thinking of like a game like Dark Souls, but not obviously Dark Souls. Something similar to it.
Okay,
maybe an easier game.
I don't know. Andre likes his themes, so I'm thinking it's an RPG because we've been talking about RPGs.
Maybe. Is Dark Souls an RPG? I don't know.
That's why I'm like, is it action adventure? I mean, it has stats and you level up and stuff.
Do you level up in this game?
That is a question I cannot answer because I do not know.
Well, what game is it?
Nice try, Tiny.
It's a
Oh.
I cannot answer because I do not
Can't even
know.
mad at you for trying.
Oh man.
That's funny.
Is there fighting in the game?
Fighting meaning like any kind of fighting, combat, all that kind of
Like
stuff.
combat.
combat with either weapons or
Yeah.
hands or okay.
So it's not a puzzle game.
I mean,
Is it multiplayer?
Yes, that's 5 right there.
what has multiplayer?
Sounds like Smash Brothers to me now.
Or it could be like
Maybe.
it could be one of those kind of. Maybe it could be like Nickelodeon All-Star.
You kind of low a little bit, BJ.
Oh
Your voice
shit!
is going out a little bit.
I don't know. I don't.
There you go. It's better.
Yeah,
now.
that's
Oh, is that? Oh, maybe I just had the mic in the wrong spot. All right. So it's multiplayer. Is this an action RPG, an action adventure, an RPG, or a fighting game?
This ain't my fault. This is their fault, man. How they
I
how
got
they
it all
doing these
listed.
games, man. Oh man.
That's funny.
I'm gonna say yes. If I'm wrong at the end, I apologize. I'm gonna say yes. I'm just going by their stuff.
It's
Yes.
probably an RPG. And I have fighting game in mind because I don't know. I'm thinking of popular games that have lesser versions of it that may be also fun. Like I don't know. I kind of am feeling the RPG thing though.
So I got a question for
But it's
y'all.
multiplayer.
BJ, what did you just say? This is what kind of game? Say that one more time.
I said action adventure, RPG, or fighting.
So if they say when I look this up and it says action role playing, what do y'all say to that?
Yeah, action RPG.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, definitely action RPG.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I look, if it say this is a sport, but then you got like the NFL streets and stuff, and it's like a brawl sport or something like that, y'all still would say sport?
I would still consider that sports for sure.
Okay.
You might be onto something, BJ. Is this a Souls-like game? So is it in the Dark Souls or Sekiro or Elden Ring?
Nah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. So action RPG potentially. Let's see.
Do we know if it was highly acclaimed?
Well, we know at least the one version of it.
We know that it's like
Very-
it's like a very popular game with a low barrier of entry.
And we know
That's
it's a
why I
series
also
based
think
on
of like
that.
a potential fighting game. Also, but I don't know.
So we know it's a series, though, right?
No, we don't know if it's a
We
series
don't
or
know
not.
that. We know that there's fighting in the game. We know that it's multiplayer. We know that it came out within the last 10 years.
Andre, is
No,
it part
it's-
of a series?
No.
It's not.
Hmm.
So it's a standalone.
See, that makes me even feel more like it's just one of those like we took one of these popular games and made our own game out of their gameplay.
we know it's not a shooter. And
Not a shooter.
it does start with an O.
We'll just say yeah. We know that doesn't start with an O. I mean, look, that could be necessary information in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of games out there that start with an O.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not Overwatch. It's not Overcooked. It's not.
Yep.
Oblivion.
Not Oblivion.
Not Oblivion. Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, it is action RPG.
Is there
So-
resource gathering in this game?
No.
Okay, so that's no Valheim, no V Rising, no like.
Right.
I always wanted to play that V Rising game.
Which reminds me too is that RuneScape got a survival game out now too,
Hmm.
called Dragon Wilds.
Is the game first person?
No,
Huh.
that's
It's
10.
definitely like an RPG. Well, I guess we already know it's like an action RPG.
Johnny, did
Not
you ever get into that V Rising?
Yeah, I played it a few times. It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, probably more fun with friends than alone.
Okay.
okay. So an action RPG that's not in a series that came out within the last 10 years. That's where I am.
And it's not first person. So
Not first person. Yeah, I feel like that's a big one
yeah.
because most things usually are first person.
And what are games like that aren't Souls like? Huh.
Right.
Uh,
In the last 10 years.
Yeah. And it's not a shooter, so we're not
It's
talking.
it's multiplayer. He said it was multiplayer, right?
Yeah, he did say it was multiplayer.
What about does the game feature superheroes?
Ooh, that was my
No.
question too.
No.
Okay, so
That's
that's
a pretty good question.
that. Not only does that rule out Marvel Rivals, but any other superhero game.
Right.
I mean, well, I guess we already know it's not Overwatch. I was gonna say, are those considered superheroes?
Action RPG. Was Hades easy? I don't think Hades was easy.
I don't know. I guess it depends on the player.
Is that even a? Is
It's
that
not like
an
a rogue
It's
like.
rogue. It's more rogue, but you do
roguelike.
level up.
Yeah. He said he didn't know whether we level up or not in the game, or he said he couldn't answer that.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, you probably do. Maybe I don't know.
I suspect you do,
Right.
based on everything else we know about the game so far.
So the combat is it
It's not a shooter, but there is fighting.
fighting that happens not in first person?
Correct. We don't know if it's a. Do we know if it's a? Well, an action role playing game wouldn't be like a fighting like one-on-one game, right? That'd be
Probably not.
In the next
Multiplayer,
last
is
10
it?
years.
Is it? I'm like thinking of some random games in my head. Just like Crackdown randomly popped up in my head.
Crackdown's a good game, by the way.
I can't remember if
But
one
that
of
was a
them was
shooter,
multiplayer, wasn't it? I guess technically you could shoot in it. Yeah.
and it was a series, right?
Yeah, it definitely was that. So yeah,
In the last 10 years.
just random things that are going through my head right now. Just,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
going
for
through
some
it.
reason I'm thinking old school Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I have the answer to the level up question now. You can ask it now if you want to, but I have it now.
Okay. Yeah, we'll ask it. Do you level up?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
So
a big
what the
one.
hell? Maybe it's not an RPG then, because I feel like that's like a core element.
Yeah, he said action RP.
It's role playing, yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it could be like a Diablo style game because those are action role playing games.
Not third person.
Do you? Well, you level up
Or
at
not
least
first
in
person,
Diablo.
rather.
You definitely level up in Diablo. Are there any games like that where you don't level up?
I don't know. That's tough.
Hmm.
That's tough. It's like any RPG I could think of. It's like for sure ruled out. For the most part.
Want to ask if it was like an indie game?
Go for it.
So, was this developed by? Oh, sorry. Is this an indie game? Considered an indie game?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay, so
tell me your definition of indie for a second?
Like
a small publisher?
Like a small publisher.
No,
Yeah, not okay.
So this was made by some big players.
You're right.
So it's a standalone title, not part of a series. There's fighting.
Yeah, that's not
It's
these then.
not first person.
Do we want to ask if it was like highly acclaimed, like a game of the year, or something
Sure.
like that? Yeah, was it highly acclaimed?
It is highly acclaimed.
Okay, it's a popular game.
It could be like Smash Bros. Well, no, that's part of a series.
That's part of a series, yeah.
Highly acclaimed is only one of them.
Yeah, there's only one of them. Yeah,
Multiplayer.
multiplayer.
Kind of like another really popular game, but easier. It sounds like based on the.
Do you want to
That's
ask?
what I'm. That's where I'm going with it, but I'm just not sure.
Do you want to ask if it's like a co-op game?
Sure.
That's why it's
That could
multiplayer.
help.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a co-op game?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so that means a multiplayer is
PvP.
Right.
That's excuse me. That's 15 questions right there.
15, man.
We might be in trouble.
no shit.
Let's see. We've been in tougher spots before, though. I remember Pirate Yakuza, whatever.
Yeah.
Power World. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Power
am
World was another
salty
crazy.
about Pokemon.
Shaq Fu.
Oh yeah, that was another one we could have.
We've been in
You
tougher
were
spots.
kind of there, but yeah.
I'm salty. I'm salty about that. I'm salty about Kingdom Hearts 3. I might
You
be
know-
salty about this game, depending on
You
the
know what
game.
I'm salty about? Marvel Alliance. I'm salty about that. Okay.
Hey, bro, that's
I'm
tough.
salty
That's
about.
That's tough.
You know what we were talking about. The intent was there.
You knew what we were saying.
Hey man, I phoned a friend. I called the expert up. He said he don't know what y'all was talking about, man.
All right.
15.
Shit. Well, it's an action role playing game that's not first person and not in the series. See, the fact that it's not in the series makes it harder because less chances that we ever even heard of it.
Yeah.
At least that's how I think about it.
Yeah,
Oh,
for an RPG at least.
right.
I almost want to ask if it's a Blizzard game. For some reason, I got Blizzard on the mind these days, talking about Diablo, talking about Overwatch. I've got a shot in it. Well, this game might be more than 10 years old. For some reason, I was thinking because Blizzard had a version of like League, right? They had Stormfront. I forget what the title of the game was. What was it called? Heroes of the Storm. I think it's.
Okay.
Which is probably a more accessible version of League, but I don't know. That's a thought that I have. But you definitely level up in that. I'm sure you level up. I think. I don't know. Probably not that. Never mind.
Sorry. Is it console exclusive?
No.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sorry, I just had to rule it if it wasn't a
No,
Nintendo
no.
game.
No, it's fine because I don't know where I am. I feel like I haven't even asked that many questions, but I just don't even know what to ask. That
Yeah,
would
I'm
help
not
me out
sure.
with it.
Hmm.
Okay, so the game itself is. I just feel like I'm so stuck on we're talking about it having a lower ceiling than a more popular game than it. I don't know. I just really wonder what that could mean. I think of fighting games. I think of Souls type of games, but we know it's probably not that. And plus, that has co-op.
I'm just stumped because it's not a series. That's what it's getting me.
If it's not first person, I feel like oh shit. I feel like what if it could be a fighting game? I mean, just because he was saying, I doubt that he would give it. I mean, maybe he would. I don't know.
But I don't know. Action roleplay is not.
Exactly. But
Isn't
I'm like,
the
Yeah.
first thing that comes to mind.
are we sure that that's what it said, or if that's what just he was asking us? It probably is what that's what it said. Probably. I don't know. Because not first person, I don't know.
Well,
Have we said the game today?
No. There was a better version of that question you could have asked, but speaking on what I said at the beginning.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
All you gotta do is think about it for a second, you'll get it. Speaking of the reason why he likes speaking of all that stuff that I said before I said the game, there's a different way you could have asked that might have helped.
I mean, I'm still kind of stumped.
Oh, have we? I mean, I think I know what he's getting at, but then I could be completely wrong and just ask the complete wrong question.
Go ahead, ask it. I think you know. Go ahead, ask it.
Do we talk about a different version of this game? I don't know if that's the right wording.
Yes, that's the right wording. Yes.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Because remember, like whatever the more popular version of it is probably what we mentioned.
Yes.
So like a remaster.
Potentially.
You guys are at 18 right now.
Now I gotta think of everything that we talked about.
But we didn't talk. Oh.
We didn't say this game specifically, but we said the other game that he was referring to
Today
as the more popular one. Yes.
What did we talk about today?
That's what I'm saying. I can remember everything.
Is loot a part of this game? Like, do you collect items?
No. That is 19 right there. One question and a guess.
Okay, I mean, we talked about a bunch of different RPGs. I mean, we talked a lot about Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, but that's a series.
It is. Yeah. But I'm not like saying it's Elder Scrolls. I'm just trying to think of all the popular games that we
It's a third-person action role-play game where you don't level up and you don't collect loot.
Just so we're clear, I personally didn't say it was the action role-playing game. So
that's
if
what I was
it is
saying,
or not, I didn't say that.
That's what I was saying. He said that, but did that mean that's what it was, or was he just picking something random? Because I don't think he would just straight up give it to us like that, knowing him.
I was just asking the sub because they got sub genres, you know. So like, is WWE wrestling when it says wrestling fighting game? Is that a fighting game? You know, I was asking like that. Would y'all consider WWE a fighting game? I don't know if I would. Yes. Okay.
I would. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's what you're doing. I mean,
some people would say sport.
I guess that's fair. I can't argue with it.
It's a combat sport.
So is it an action RPG?
You asking me?
Yes.
Well, you already.
It's not. It's not an action RPG.
Oh, I thought he said that for some reason.
No, because he was giving an example, but we were saying, was it a fighting game? Was it an action game? And he said it's one of those, so it could be a fighting game.
I have a one guess.
We're guessing the game now? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
So it's not an action RPG.
It's not an action RPG.
Oh, oops. I've been down the wrong rabbit hole, barking up the wrong tree.
That's what I'm saying. What if it's a fighting game? Because I mean, it's multiplayer with no co-op. To me, that just sounds like a fighting game.
Right.
And I also know that Mo plays fighting games. Just as a side thing that I happen to know. So.
But what's not in a series? What fighting game is not in a series that we
within the last 10 years?
Whichever one-off version of it that.
Was it
I don't know. I mean, that is a good point.
Right.
That is a good point. Most fighting games have at least a couple of different ones.
Doesn't feature superheroes.
Doesn't feature
superheroes. Not Marvel Rivals.
Doesn't start with no.
Can't be like a multiverses or something like that either. I don't know.
BJ, you're our fighter guy. We're counting on you.
It might not even be that.
Whether we win or whether we lose, it's your fault.
Shit, the one fighting game, it was the Shaq game. I had no idea about that game.
Shaq Fu.
What was it? Shaq
Fu? How do you not know Shaq Fu? It's horrible.
Exactly.
It's a horrible game.
I don't know about it.
Maybe I'm reading in too much into how Andre responded to things. But when I asked if the game had fighting, he was like, "What do you mean?" If it was a fighter, I feel like he wouldn't have asked that question.
Well, I guess that's also
Right.
true.
I
That's
don't know
also
if I'm
true.
reading
I
into
mean,
it too much. I don't know if he's
Could be.
intentionally
You're probably
trying
right.
to throw out red herrings or whatever. But
I mean, because we apparently mentioned something related to it already. Also,
yeah,
I feel like that's where our best guess is. But of course, with my really horrible memory, I don't remember everything that we talked about throughout the course of.
This will be like the third or fourth time y'all got it on the final question. So if y'all,
Yeah.
or y'all can just give in.
We talked about. I don't know. Why not talk about Mario
level
RPG?
You don't
You
level
don't
up.
level up. That's what I'm saying. Then you don't level up. Like I just really feel like it's like a fighting game, man. I just don't know what one it could be. It's probably some random one that I might have never heard of. I don't know. But either way, we have to come up with a guess
We need a guess.
from nothing.
From nothing. Oh, something.
Oh boy. How are we feeling?
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
I really don't. I'm trying to think of some random fighting game that is not in the series that might have come out within the last 10 years. Oh boy.
GG's? What?
Might have to. I don't know. I hate to do it like that, but
I would say throw something out, BJ. I'm putting my vote behind you.
Oh, don't do
Can we
it.
say Elden Ring? Was Elden Ring?
You level up in Elden Ring.
Oh, okay.
Do we consider that a series? Like, probably. I mean, maybe
I don't know
not.
if it's a series.
There's another one coming out, so does that automatically make it part of a series?
It's got an expansion, but
yeah. I can't think of any fighting games that just don't have.
Well, he said it wasn't a Souls-like.
Yeah, he did say that too. I can't think of any fighting games that don't have a series. Like, off the top of my head, so I really don't know.
All right, I'm gonna say y'all give up unless y'all throw out something.
I can't throw out anything.
I don't know. I have to let you down. I'm sorry.
All right, guys.
All right, go ahead.
It is. I want to give you a little bit of it. Blah blah blah. 24th in player count on Steam with a total of 8 million players. This has received. This achieved 80 million players total. It's a prominent mobile game as well, and it is a fighting game.
Huh.
It is a fighting game.
I knew
question 5, Caroline mentioned the fighting game is like. BJ mentioned the fighting game that is like 4 times.
4 times?
He did. Johnny might have mentioned it as well.
Oh, what is this? Brawlhalla? Oh my god!
I don't know anything about the game, so anything.
It's like Smash Brothers. It is.
Like I've played it very briefly.
Brawlhalla.
Very briefly.
He said it's just like Smash, but it's a low ceiling to get in.
You know
what?
It
is.
I don't think I've ever heard of it, to be frank.
I have definitely heard of it.
It's pretty popular. I just don't know anything about it.
I've definitely mentioned it in a podcast before. Like, I just didn't think it was actually going to be. It's a good game.
I had it like it's like not first person, not freaking co-op. I'm like, it has to be a fighting game or something. That's the only thing it sounded like it could have been.
And they said, what did they say? They said platform fighter. So that's why I asked.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's technically it's definitely a fighter, though. I mean,
it's definitely a fighter. Yeah.
So, anyways, thanks for listening in, guys. We appreciate you. For Caroline, BJ, and Johnny, I'm Andre, and we will see you guys next time. Like and subscribe.